But also, remember, trust and faith in the present moment. Because you don't know what's going to happen next. Like I said about Shirley Jackson, things can come very quickly. And it's not to bring up contemplation like death. It's to make people depressed or, yes, these Buddhist monks, they go on and on about, age, sickness, and death. It's such a bore. But it's actually, you see the people that do that, the monks, the meditation masters in Thailand, who have it as the contemplation, death or sickness. They're one of the happiest people you can see in the world. They glow with happiness. They glow with peace and stillness and wisdom through the penetration with the simple truths. And also, each and every one of us, there's no escape. We will meet with old age, sickness, and death, either in this own body and mind or in our relatives. And if we look from an angle of peace, we look at life from an angle of kindness and letting go. And we stay in the present moment, and we appreciate what we have. Then, when death does come, it's no big deal. Like with Shirley Jackson, it's great. I see this beautiful picture of her that one of the Anagarikas from the monastery took. This beautiful picture of Shirley Jackson. And I think they're going to decide to put that on the coffin. She has this bright smile on her face, right in front of the Dhamma hall, where most of you not familiar with Shirley. Shirley and her daughter Cherry, every 2 weeks, they go to the monastery and do the flower arrangement. And this picture just caught her in action, arranging the flowers, beautiful flowers, on a certain Uposatha day, which is certain monk day, from the monastery. And you can see, doing acts of goodness, doing acts from the monastery, brings so much happiness. Shirley has this amazing smile on her face as she was arranging the flowers. And it's very fitting, because that Shirley, a life of dedicated service to the monastery, and also, to the nunnery, and to the Buddhist society. Then when she does pass away, and I know, Shirley, you're around here somewhere, that you can hear me, that it's going to be a very happy rebirth that Shirley will take. Because through all this acts of dedication, acts of goodness. So it's not a sad thing when Shirley passed away. It's actually, a very inspiring thing. Because when people live a very beautiful life, their death has to be beautiful. It's causes and effect. You're just happy, this feeling of mudita, of appreciative joy, of knowing a life well lived. She wasn't concerned with amassing more stuff. Always concerned about the monks, always worrying, but we have enough. You have enough warm gear, Bhante. You have enough food, Bhante. So it's very, very kind when I first came to Australia. I always wanted to have everything I needed. And this is with very fond memories. I remember, I know, Shirley, and recall all her acts of kindness. So if anything, it's a great moment. And it's also an encouragement to people. You always, whatever's happening in our life, we always do more kindness. We're always inclined towards more openness, more generosity. But like I said, giving material thing is one thing. But there are many, many profound levels of kind of giving. And the second level, as I touched on, is forgiveness. To forgive people. That's slightly harder. You can give things and, easily. But someone does something to this precious me and mine, then no, I don't want to forgive them. Not just yet. So that's the next step. To always focus on, when we walk away from this hall, to say, okay, who in my mind, who am I carrying a grudge against? What people bother me in the past? Should I bring that to mind and say, okay, whatever happened in the past, I forgive you. So we can learn that slowly, especially after meditation. Once your mind is soft and malleable, once you have the confidence of, and rested the mind, once the mind has a lot of energy, then we can bring up, different, difficult people that we've dealt with and offer this forgiveness to them. Saying, okay, what happened in the past, I'm going to let that go. The next time I see you, I'm going to offer you my friendship, offer you my kindness, regardless of whatever happened. And that's forgiveness. That's the next step. Something to aspire for, something that, to declutter our mind. Because a lot of times this mind of ours is very, very complicated. First with the wanting mind, the sensual desire, wanting things. And then it more clutters up with things we don't like, people we don't like. So the more we learn how to let go of things, allowing our craving to fade away, the next is allowing the ill will to fade away. Of leaving the past in the past and going in the present moment with nothing in your hands. Just sitting here, just being here. Allowing life just to unfold by itself with no agendas. Whatever comes up has its causes. It will come and stay there as long as the causes are there. It will fade away when the causes are gone. Back to the theme of impermanent. You never know what's going to happen next. So we're happy to stay in the present moment. If we're really happy to stay here, then we don't go anywhere else. Really ground our mind in the present moment. And with meditation, it's the beginning, the middle, and the end. You cannot get away from the present moment, nor should you try to get away. Meditation is a process of going inward, of staying here and allowing the mind to open up on its own. But for the mind to stay anywhere, it has to find joy and happiness. So that's where the learning of contentment comes in. Content just to be here. Then things in the mind is a wonderful thing. Only if we can slow down and be still enough and allow the mind to open up on its own. So we're happy in the present moment. The mind becomes slows down. And that the peace and the content will build up. And then it will go deeper. The mind will open up on itself. I think that's all I have to offer now. But like I say in summary, just an encouragement for people to have the faith and have the trust just to be in the present moment. Allow whatever it be come to come. Because life is very unpredictable. 1 minute we're here and our loved ones are around us. The next minute all can be taken away very quickly. It is not under our control. But that's not to say it's not something to make us more depressed. Death only makes sense. Life only makes sense, in the face of death. Imagine if you live for a long, long time, 500 years, 1,000 years, or 10,000 years. There's never any need to make up with your family. I won't talk to him for another 500 years, doesn't matter, I've got another 10,000 years to go. But you know that your mother, like Shirley, is going to, may pass away very quickly. What happened to Shirley is not an exception. It's not an anomaly. It's something that happens every day to different people. So when you know that, when you look at your loved ones, you look at your family, your friends, or even the people that you know, you work with, and you think to yourself, what if I don't see him tomorrow? Then should I still hang on to this grudge? It's something they said to me, 2 seconds ago. So a lot of times, angry mind gets caught up in something very, very small and very, very petty. Who did what to whom? Who said what to whom? But you know that your parents are going to be around, will you still harbor that grudge? No, it doesn't make sense. That's why the contemplation of death, actually anything, brings more meaning to life. Because it allows you to live life to the fullest, to appreciate each and every moment, to not let, the past kind of impinge on the present moment, and also to not let the future fritters away the present moment by worrying too much about the future. Yes, there are things that will happen tomorrow, obviously. The sun will rise, hopefully. But, you may not be around, so why worry about it? Stay in the present moment, and everything will be all right. Guarantee. Because when you can think, when you can formulate that thought, and you have the teaching of kindness, of stillness, of letting go, in your mind, each and every present moment, then everything has to be all right. Because the present moment is okay. The next moment is also made up from the present moment. So as long as you get the causes right, the result will come naturally. It's a basic fact of Buddhism. Causes and condition. So, I guess in summary, the title of the talk is Everything Will Be Alright. Okay. And like I said, I'd like to dedicate this talk to Shirley Jackson, who's been a wonderful member of the BSWA, very long, cherished member, who's done many, many kinds of, kindness and helping out the monastery and the nunnery and the center here. But also, I'd like to dedicate my big public talk to my parents, who are very Catholic, but also very, very supportive. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for bringing me up. And thank you for all your support for the last years as a monk. I really love you. Okay. Oh yes, any questions, comments? Yes?
Just, saying, emphasising, staying in the present moment. I just want to comment on this, but sometimes being in the present moment and just being with what you've got in yourself, it's not a very nice place to be, especially if you're fairly impoverished inside.
Mm-hmm.
And that impoverishment can come from a whole range of things.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to me that could be a very uncomfortable place to be. And so it seems to me maybe there could be some steps before being in the present moment to ensure the thing in the present moment is a place to hang out and then follow on from that into those make some comments.
Yeah, that's a very good question. The question is that, sometimes in the present moment, it's a very uncomfortable and not very pretty place to be, whether through physical problem or mental problem. And how can we stay in the present moment if it's unpleasant? And the first thing is, to realize this, yes, the present moment, to a certain extent, is uncomfortable. So that's why the mind likes to drift away to the past or the future. Past, remembering your great experience that you had, your wonderful holiday, or, the first time you fell in love or something. Or you go to the future, thinking about the next holiday, or, the last time you had, something really wonderful happen. So the mind does drift up because it's not, one, familiar in the present moment, and two, the present moment is unpleasant to a certain extent. But that's where this great teaching of the Buddha comes into play. Teaching of good enough, of gratitude, always looking for the positive things. So yes, you're sitting here and your knees are killing you, but that's okay, it's good enough. What do you expect having a body? When you have a body, from time to time, there will be pain. So we cut it with the wisdom, the sword of wisdom. Yes, any physical or mental problem is to be expected. This is not a heavenly realm. This is earth. So there will be a certain amount of suffering. But we said, yeah, it's good enough. I'm old, getting older, and my knee, unfortunately, does not get less painful. Now it gets more painful as years go by. But I already know that. So I say it's good enough. I can sit here and be open to the pain, physical or mental. Sometimes inside, you're a bit anxious. Sometimes a bit, grumpy. But you will also open your mind to that. Yes, I'm grumpy. I'm not enlightened. Of course I feel grumpy from time to time. And winch. I wish this monastery could do this. I wish that monk could do something else. Or you go to a different monastery, but you can't help everything. So, yes, we do go to a good winch. But we say to ourselves, we allow that kindness to our own mind, saying, yes, I can get grumpy and depressed and anxious from time to time. But that's okay. That's what happens when you are unenlightened. You're expected to have these moods. But also, hopefully, we have the teaching ingrained in us to say, yes, this is good enough. This mind is what it does. I'm not in control of my mind. No one is. So sometimes the mind is in a happy mood. Sometimes it's not in such a happy mood. But that's just the way it is. So it's good enough. But also, so by the strange things is, and then the whole irony of the whole teaching, the Buddhist teaching, that once you say anything in your mind, mental, physical phenomena, is good enough, then very quickly becomes more than good enough. It becomes wow. It becomes okay. And a few minutes later, okay becomes wonderful. And just a few more minutes, wonderful becomes an out of this world bliss. And it gets built upon itself. One moment of happiness upon another. Only we can turn our mind in the right direction. But we go into the pain, it's like, oh no, I shouldn't have this knee pain. This is why knee pain? Science, has progressed very far. I should get a total knee replacement or something. No more pain. Or maybe I should take an aspirin or something. You can see where the mind goes. More doing, more thinking, more planning, more controlling. Only because we head up in the wrong direction to begin with. But once, with the sword of wisdom, we cut it off with good enough. Gratitude for whatever is happening. Yes, your mind may be all over the place during the guided meditation. But the fact that you have the great karma and the wisdom just to be here, to have to bring your bum here on the seat on a Friday night, that's huge karma. Because, it's much more distracted, much more confusion outside. So, the amount of suffering in this room is minuscule compared to a lot more problems that could be had when you're walking around North Perth right now. It can be much worse. So when we look at that way, whatever's happened here is great. Yeah. Thank you for that question. Yeah.